I guess this confirms my theory, or at least partially of it, because this at least seems to put this at least seems to put in the theory that I think Satoichi really was a detached child in his childhood. I don't recall exactly what I said in my previous theories, because, you know, I don't really go back to watch my videos that much. I'm an improviser after all, and I don't really know how to improve. However, I did think that maybe deep down he was labeled a black sheep because he was different from his family, and the family was a pretty strict family. I mean, the first clue that he was detached was in Nenne's first flashback, where he actually looked at the place. He had pretty distant eyes, and now it's all but finally confirmed. Yes, the Satoichi family, oh no, the Isshiki family, are ones where failures are never an option, or is never an option, which unfortunately created huge burden on the born prodigy that was Satoichi Isshiki. Because it turns out he has been an expert ever since he was a child. And I mean, even before he probably could do all that. However, just like Yoshiro before him, although technically Yoshiro became a prodigy because he was just that dedicated to fine taste. He wasn't a natural born genius. He became good because he actually dedicated himself to become good. And people never really gave him much thought here. Turns out Satoichi's incidents are actually pretty much similar than Yoshiro. Sorry for the late reply. I mean, intro from New York, almost cured from my sickness. It's angry anime fan that's reviewer. First of all, a pretty woohoo cover page. It's everyone but Erina in short clothes. Oh, and by the way, Erina is dressed in a biker outfit, which shows a cleavage window with Megami sitting on her arm. Congratulations, Soma, 5th and Jump 5th year anniversary. Go 5, Shokugeki no Soma. The grand climax to the 4th bound, is that meant to imply something, that this bound is soon to be finished? I highly doubt that. Mostly, but not because of one is better than the other, but only because despair wins always, because there's no such thing in hope in real life. If there's something I have learned from arguments, is that people only want despair, not hope. So, well, first, but now to the chapter itself. Nene, as Satoichi's special dish is still served, the judges realizes that indeed it's a different Japanese soup dish, so to speak. It's there are there are 4 compounds to a traditional Japanese soup, which is suji, sushichi, wandane, and wadatsuma. And apparently Isshiki has brought forth a new milestone of Japanese dish making, which is a brilliant, exquisite, shining bowl that is a rabbit-like soup. So, and even Soma and Megami are not so very sure on what kind of ingredients that you use. So Nene finally questions Satoichi, what does he mean by that? You have only teased me everything my life. So, and Satoichi teases her back again. I mean, again, it seems that Satoichi has always been a troll, but I guess it's also a mask to hide his insecurity. Or maybe, no, not insecurity, sadness, maybe it could have been. Is the fact that what made you such a stick in the mud? Is that because I was better at you at everything? And Nene confirms it. However, Satoichi says that you were my savior, even if you have never known. So Satoichi opens up about his life. As we all know, the traditional Japanese restaurant that is the Isshiki family, he was born the eldest of the family, meaning he has siblings. Well, if Shokugeki no Soma is gonna continue after Azami's reign is destroyed, because it will be destroyed, then is there a possibility we will dive into the cooking families of this manga? I mean, it would make interesting to dive into these traditional families. After all of them seems to have extreme amount of ego. Not to mention, we still do not know why some of the supporters supported, you know, the sorry, supported the Asami's reign. However, we still don't know exactly what the Isshiki family thought of his reign. Although his reign, he is still not dethroned yet, but I just know he will. Either way, his earliest memories was always training in the ways of cooking, and he has to master everything he was taught, and he actually looked like the perfect successor to his family traits. Uh, However, in his heart, he never, ever, ever got a compliment. All his family saw to him, which I assume must be his grandmother, grandfather, father, and mother, was only this: the idea of I cannot, shall not be tolerated. Of course you can. There must be no need for rejoice over the fact that you managed to memorize one thing or another. Becoming content with the master of the most basic techniques will prevent you from developing the bearings of which the eldest son of the family must comfort himself. This house needs you to grow up and fast. Get back to the kitchen. So they never praised him for mastering what he could master. All they told him was, get back to the kitchen and just keep on working. This is basically the same thing that happened to Yoshiro, albeit differently. They pressured him until he broke from cooking. And from his earliest day, as far as Satoichi can remember, cooking was not fun for him. It was emotionless, cut and dried haze. Uh, he didn't even know why cooking even existed. He just did what his family did. So the judges keep on eating the dish, which is a clear broth that is turned into a miso soup. It's what Satoichi called mochi, are wild rabbit's meat and Sicilian. He mixed together sweet rice flour and wheat flour and wrapped in the ingredients in it. After boiling these pouches for a few moments, he added them as one done and then one may enjoy the limpid flavor of the clear broth. And then after the envelope broken, the gently enveloping flavors of the wild rabbits and the miso will be enjoyed as well. So with that, the judge tastes the dish one more time, and then, well, she has quite a foodgasm. Almost like she's almost stripping from a kimono, perfectly melded together. Of course, the judges are pulling it off. So she goes through the dictionary, and she calls this the Jo Hakyu, which is apparently a traditional structure common in court dancing and music. The Jo, the beginning, that contains clapping, and the Ha, the break, and that represent a slow, forceful change in nature in the act, and the Q, the rush in the climax. This dish is basically it is a dish that constructed the incredible deliciousness of increasing tempo. It's just like a Japanese dance. Truly, uh, truly a masterful, unique combination. So Satoichi continued his story. He was unaware and unfeeling, and cooking was just a means to an end. The joys of the cooking didn't exist at all. So then he was sent to the Kinokuni family, which was a family custom. He didn't know why he was there, but he was there. And there he met a girl that was neither elegant or refined, at least in his eyes. But she played with the joys of her heart contents. Unlike him, who had spent his entire day trying to master everything, she just did it. She did it without complaining a bit, and the profile of her was beautiful. At that time, Satoichi saw that cooking was not just something you memorized and not just something you let someone else decide for you. Because Nene was just, she played and enjoyed cooking for her contents. She was dedicated, and for him it was beautiful. It's a bit ironic though that in the end their p- personality became different. Nene became so dedicated to her traditions she became unfeeling. Satoichi took in the traditions that he was unfeeling, but eventually embraced the fun of cooking through watching not only Nene's earliest beginning, but also seeing the Polar Star dorm where they polished their skills every day. So, with that, he deeply respected Nene, and he has never looked down on her. In fact, he saved her. That is why he says to her, "Remember the face, the beautiful feelings I felt that day. A powerful dish." With that, dancing, uh, the dancing stone creates a crack in Izan's. No, no, sorry. It's been such a long time that I actually almost forgot their names. Not Izan. That's not his name. Ah, damn, I forgot it. Ishi's. Sorry. Let's just go with Ishi's armor. The the white knight's armor is slightly cracking from Ishinki's aggressive Japanese cooking's attack. The question is that enough for a win? Or is this just to give us hope that the armor is cracking, therefore it will break next match? Who knows? All in all, this was a dish where Satoichi revealed his personality, and indeed confirmed that his family life was nothing of joy, nothing of family love. It was only you are to do what you are to do. And then by watching Nene's learning experience, embracing in it, and have fun with it, he fell in love with her, I guess in a little bit, or deeply respected her at least. And in the end, that made him also go to the Polar Star Dome. This is why he's a black sheep of the family. He chooses to ignore his family teaching and their words. He does what he wants to do. And that what makes him a different cook than his family. So I'm asking, is it a possibility we're gonna dive into the Ishinki family in the next arc? I mean, they would make perfect antagonists, especially with such haughty personality like this. And Ishinki Satoichi mentioned that he has siblings, and if he's the black sheep, isn't it a possibility that he is no longer the heir to the Ishinki family? I'm just saying, things are getting a little bit more interesting. However, if Satoichi loses this, then you can forget it's interesting. But the armor is cracking. At least that shows a sign that, while if he still loses, at least the armor is cracking. And if it's cracking, then he definitely will not win next match. So give me your thoughts if you have any.